your host, Jeff Mayhew. I'm back here with my No Cap Fund friends, Roger Scott and Walter Clapp. How are you two doing here tonight?
All is sweetness and light. Sweetness and light.
I couldn't be doing better. I've got my best day brewing in a coal share. Maybe we'll secure them as a sponsor of the show. It's great. I can attest to the glory of this. Also, working on a sauna that I just picked up on Facebook Marketplace. It's gonna be great.
Well, that's awesome. We also have a special guest with us tonight, Enzo from Minneapolis, right?
That's right, yeah.
And so,
Wisconsin, though. I'm more proud of that.
okay, awesome. We'll have to talk a little Wisconsin football in a little bit, but we've got he is helping us out as a grassroots volunteer up there in the great state of Minnesota, and we do appreciate it. So before we get into the show tonight, I was just curious, how was your guys' weekend? Roger, Walter, did you guys have a good weekend? Roger, I imagined you played a little guitar.
I ate, slept, played guitar, and graded work.
Ate, slept, played guitar, and graded work.
And I applied. I responded to a couple of postings looking for new clients. So yeah, it was a variety of good things.
What are you playing right now? Are you like learning a new song or anything?
Yes, I'm working on learning David Lindley's slide parts for the Jackson Browne song "Redneck Friend." It's one of the few songs that has slide going on pretty much start to finish. Right it's not constant, but there's slide in every part of that song. And that's pretty unusual. So I'm trying to get that, and then I'll try to sing along with it too, and then it'll get really comical.
How about you, Walter? How was your weekend?
Yeah, weekend was good. Just enjoying the mountain life out here in Laramie and getting out and did some backcountry skiing and soaked up some rays and worked on the aforementioned sauna and very excited to sweat and then cold plunge. This is like my life's mantra. Every day I wake up and take a cold shower, and now I get to follow that with sauna after I work out. And I'm excited. I just can't wait. Next couple weekends. Unfortunately, next weekend I have to be away. Principals first.
Yeah.
But I think sauna should be up and running 2 weeks from today. That's my hope.
So I'm excited for you too, because you sound really happy about it. I don't know if I would be as excited about it as you are, but you know what? I love your passion. And that's the point of this organization. We got to be passionate about stuff. We're all here and we're all passionate about uncapping the House of Representatives. And that brings us to our guest tonight, Enzo Parent. So Enzo, we met just last week, and I was talking with you and I was like, you know what? Why don't you just come on the show with us and talk? Because I think that your story is important. I think that this is an issue that affects everybody. And I think, being in college, you seem to be got your head on your shoulders, screwed on tight, and you're looking forward and you're thinking, this seems to be a big problem. Maybe I can do something about it. So let's start out. My first question is, why did you decide to volunteer?
Yeah, so I found your guys' organization through a YouTube video, Mr. Beat, actually, your newest member. I went to check out your website. I thought the arguments for expanding the House were pretty convincing. And I checked out the website. I kind of educated myself on all the issues. And, I'm 19 years old, so I've got to kind of be thinking about the future. I have to live through a lot of it, yet. So I'm just trying to help out the ways I can. I'm in Minnesota, so I've been doing some kind of politically charged things here. Nothing crazy, just peaceful protesting, of course. But I'm just looking for a way to get involved. I mean, nothing happens if no one participates, right? So that was kind of my thinking.
Yeah. And so when we were talking on Friday, I think the thing that stood out to me about you volunteering is you're not really like a big political science or history guy. So like most of the people that, have volunteered and signed up so far, You know, they're all kind of like us. They're a little bit nerdy. They, you know, like Roger, are really into this one little issue that they know about, and really passionate about it. Or like me, I'm just like a big history nerd, political science, right? But you came out of the bat and you're like, I'm not really any of those guys, but you still decided to sign up. You know, like, you know, speak to that just a little bit about like what's your background, right? What are you going to school for? And you know, again, why it drove you to this issue.
Yeah, so yeah, I'm definitely a STEM guy. I'm not never been I mean, I of course find history and politics interesting, but I wouldn't say they're my forte necessarily. But yeah, I'm studying environmental engineering out here at the U, so I have a very science-based career and a science-based education. But I think this is an issue that is really just, I guess the word I would use is fundamental, and something that you don't need to be an expert to understand. It was kind of nerve-wracking seeing the previous guests you had on here, and you know the things you're talking about. But I mean, really, it's something I think almost everyone can agree on, and yeah, I mean, like I said, you really don't need to be an expert, and I think it's a testament that to you know how many people could really get on board with this, and it gives me hope that it's possible that we could you know you could really do something with this movement.
Yeah, I mean, we're hopeful too, obviously. And so, you know, I want to connect kind of the movement to like what you're studying, because I think a lot of kids in your generation kind of are thinking this way, which is you're passionate about the environment, right? You want to do something to make sure that, you know, the earth stays habitable in your lifetime, and I assume your children's lifetime, and hopefully your children's children's lifetime, right? And
Hopefully.
you know, the way that I look at it, the way that we look at uncapping the house is like it's maintenance, as Yuval Levin said last week. It's constitutional maintenance, and just like we got to take care of the planet, we got to take care of our government as well. Do you see the correlation between the two, and do you think that friends that you might have out there, you know, could also be persuaded on the environmental side to be like, hey, you want to maintenance the environment? How about you come help us maintenance the Constitution, and that'll provide a better government to maintenance the environment with. You see what I'm saying here?
Yeah, absolutely. Well, I think if you want to look at environmental impacts, I would say you want to go to the community, which is kind of, you know, a part of this movement too, is you want to go to the community level and assess how people are feeling, you know, at the most basic, you know, level in our government. And so, people affected by things like drought and uh, no access to clean water and other, you know, just age-driven environmental, you know, micro catastrophes, I guess I could call them, which could, of course, grow worse. These are things that people at the community feel. I mean, you can't ask the whole nation about an environmental issue, just like you can't ask the whole nation about a political issue, you know, from each person's personal, you know, stance, because it's everyone's affected differently. So, yeah, I think it's just I think both of them are very community based, and that's where people agree a lot more too. I think is at the communal level instead of, you know, when we're arguing about national policies and regulations, I guess.
So I love your answer. It's actually quite brilliant, because it perfectly encapsulates what Republican representative government is supposed to be, right? You talk about, you know, you're not going to be able to get this whole big nation to agree on one thing. There's all these different little spots that have different little interests, right? You mentioned it in the environmental, like this place has drought, this place has flooding, this place has fires, right? They all have different interest. And so, like, you know, back to representative government, we understand that. Our founders understood that. And they created a bicameral Congress to give two types of representation for the states that were already formed and representation for the people that live there, right? And breaking them down into smaller groups, it gave each of those people more of a community level to have a conversation about it, right? And that's how our government's supposed to work. And, you know, a lot of people through my journey, and I'm sure Walter and Roger can speak to this when we bring them in a second as well, is like, they go, it'll never happen. It's like it's kind of a nerd thing. Nobody really cares about it. And how are you going to explain it to people? And my thing is, I don't have to explain it to people. People already get it. It's intuitive, right? Like he explained, Enzo, you just explained Republican representative government talking about the environment, right? And like that's how it works. We have to break those groups down smaller, uncap the House, expand representation, and then we can have a community level conversation where we can actually like have serious conversations again. But that was great. Walter, Roger, I want to bring you in here. Do you have any questions for Enzo?
Well, I'll start by saying your comment about serving your community, and if nobody else does it, then it doesn't get done. That struck a chord with me. I'm taking a step. I do some other stuff as well, but I'm taking a new step. I was trained earlier today, this morning, to serve as a poll worker on Primary Tuesday, March 3rd.
That's great.
Never done that before, so I'm going to be a poll worker this year, and that's exactly what you're talking about. There's a need in this area. They called me, said, your name's on a list of potentials. We need help this year. So I said, okay, there's a need. I can fill it. So I joined. And just a couple more questions about your background in college. You mentioned you're from Wisconsin. One of my questions was, are you from Minnesota? And if not, why did you choose U of M over some other school? And are you a first-generation college student? And I'll stop there.
Okay. A few things. Well, first, I wanted to say, great job with the poll worker. I've been a poll worker for 3 years. My mom is the city clerk of my hometown, so she runs the elections, and she's pretty much forced me to be a poll worker for the last 3 years, and it's a great time. Expect to sit around and talk to old people all day.
I am old people.
Yeah, they're the only people who volunteer to do poll working, so
I get to be curbside, so I get to go in and out and walk around a lot.
sure, yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, no, but it's a good time, and we need more. There's a shortage. But to answer your other questions, no, I'm from Wisconsin. I chose to come to Minnesota because I know there's a rivalry, but in my head, the two states are very, very similar. So that was kind of my choice. It was pretty easy. And then, forgive me, what was your other question?
Are you a first-generation college student? Or do you
Oh,
have
that's
a family?
right. Yeah, no, my mom went to college at Bellarmine in Kentucky for English, and then my father was a geology student. But yeah, so I'm proud to be a third generation college student.
Cool. Walter's turn.
Yeah, I'll jump in. Enzo, great to meet you. Again, thank you for joining us here in this movement and the moment. I think that timing is so important. And one of the things that's striking about you in part is your youth, right? You are young. You're over 18, but just barely. It sounds like you have a very engaged mom, which is cool. Shout out to her for raising such an astute young man. You're very clippable. My first question is, how much time do you spend on social media on average per day?
Way too much. Way too much. I'd say,
what's way too much?
geez, if you wanted me to give it, I'm a gamer, so I guess some of it
Okay.
gets sucked away by my PlayStation. But
Okay.
I spend probably, I'd say, at 3 hours on average. Most of it's on
3
YouTube,
hours.
so
3
big
hours on
YouTube guy. Yeah,
Okay.
but social media,
What's your
that's where
game of
everyone's
choice?
at. Oh, my gaming choice. Wow, that's a great question. Well, I'd say most long term, me and my friends have a really long going Minecraft world.
Oh yeah,
And it
nice.
was funny because I was talking about this the other day, this right here, and my friends were saying we should build the U.S. Capitol in a bigger one, a U.S. Capitol with
Yes,
6,000 seats was
uncapped,
the idea.
An uncapped.
Yeah,
US
an
House,
uncapped
yes,
capital in Minecraft.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
that's a project
So-
that's coming.
I don't know if you've heard us talk about, but I think Jeff is one of the people who's written about this. But if we were to have, say, a 6,000 member house, one of the things we might do or should consider is, okay, let's have a facility in DC that fits 6,000 people. There's already a football stadium that fits that bill.
Yeah.
Also the convention center, I think. But we could build something great, but also we could build regional houses, right? So in the Minecraft world, it would be cool if you got this to catch on. If you could build like one in, say, like DC, like you think go like maybe like Cincinnati, Denver or Cheyenne, and like go like over to the West Coast, maybe Seattle or San Francisco, San Diego. I don't know. Maybe you have a Texas hub because Texas. I don't know. Anyway,
Texas.
okay. That wasn't a question, but my nephew is like been obsessed with Minecraft, and so I want you to find him. His name is Jackson Clapp in the world of Minecraft, and I
Okay,
think he goes
Jackson
by
Clapp.
Frank Bob in TX.
Okay, I'll see what I can do.
Yeah, you can
But
find.
I like the
Okay.
idea. It does fit the decentralizing theme, so I'll think about it.
Yeah, exactly. Okay, so when are you graduating from college?
2029. I'm just a freshman.
Wow, that's wild. Okay, so my nephew also is going. He's going to be a freshman next year, so he's in the
Okay.
process of applying.
2020 now makes me feel like I'm in the future. Like just I hear 2029 and I think back to like when I was in high school and I'm like, man, that's like so far in the future and like here we are. I'm an old guy,
Here.
just like Roger apparently.
Um,
Hey,
I like it.
let the record show that the old guy has not had any of his joints replaced yet, while the younger guy has. Just saying.
There is hope. I've just had some
Noted.
replaced. I'm right in the middle. Okay, so next question is: are you registered with a major party?
Ooh, good question.
Yeah, I should be registered with the Democrats as
Okay, great.
if I'm correct, but I don't really know
That
how
means
that
that-
whole system works.
Okay, well, super interesting. Well, so what I was
You're gonna learn a lot helping us out. You'll learn a lot.
I'm a lawyer, and one of the things I'm doing is I'm going to be at the Republican. I'm a registered Republican. I'm going to be at the Republican caucus for our county, for my county precinct, this Wednesday, and so I'm going to be pushing different resolutions, bylaw changes, and platform changes. Basically, I'm going to try to get myself elected as a caucus member to make those changes. And one of the things I'm going to be pushing, obviously, is talking about uncapping the House at the state convention. Because so one of the things is I did this last year. I brought forward a resolution. Actually, it failed at the local level, but I was able to get it to the state level and pass it there. And this year, I'm coming back a little bit more prepared and going to attempt to do that at the state level. And so this is for Enzo, but also for Jeff and Roger, because I'm going to push y'all. Y'all need to get on this as well in your local parties.
You know when my local party meets? Monday nights. Right now.
Well,
Yeah, it's really hard to make a meeting.
I'm considering scrapping my lifelong independent status and join the Democrat Party in Alamance County. I went to their meeting last week, got a little bit of interest. I might be able
there
to
you
move
go.
those people. I'm also going to go to the Republican meeting, when
Okay.
they have it. I haven't done that research yet, but I got to cover both sides here.
Nice.
Because I if I can't go in a room where I'm uncomfortable and have respectful conversation with people I disagree with, that makes me part of the problem. And I
Ooh.
will not be part of the problem.
Man, that's some like deep knowledge right there from Roger. Because if it doesn't even matter if you go to your party meeting or the other team's party meeting, it's still an uncomfortable situation. You got to be in a room full of mostly strangers.
Yeah,
Um,
absolutely.
okay, next, or my last question in the first round here for you, Enzo.
In the first
Is-
round.
Do you have when you think about community, do you think of an ideal size?
An ideal size.
Yeah, I mean, and this could be for different things, but you said that the idea of building community several times, and I'm just always interested when people talk about building community, kind of the scale at which you're thinking.
That's a good question. That's a really good question. I don't know. I think a community that's big enough that everyone can find a place to connect on a personal level is good. I don't know if there's a magic number. I don't know if there should be a number because then I feel like we're excluding some communities. I don't because of course they're all different sizes. I'd say if I had to choose the size of the community I was living in, maybe in an idealized society, I'd say you probably need somewhere around 10,000 people to be good. Because then you can have niche groups for different things like this. Like, you know, no cap fund probably makes up 0.001% of the U.S. population. So you need room for things like that too, I think. So I'll say 10,000 people.
Walter,
Okay.
what number do you have? What's your number?
Yeah, I'm curious.
Well,
What is it?
yeah. So well, there's been some social science on this.
But what's
And
your number? Not the
Well,
social
just
science. What's your
give
number?
me you don't be so pushy.
I'm the host. Yeah, it's
I
a
know.
it's a 5-minute,
Well,
5-second clock. Let's go. Let's go.
You're gonna slow me down. He
Reclaiming
doesn't have a
my
hard
time.
stop.
Reclaiming my time.
Mr. Chairman. My goodness. Now you see, Jeff, you got me totally off track, and I don't even remember what I was going to say.
The social science about the
community
size of the
size.
community.
Okay, thank you.
Research on community.
So there are two things. So Dunbar's number says that the average size or the largest size of a group of people where you can have really deliberative conversations is 150 people. And so basically he looked at tribes, tribal societies over time, and basically tribes never were really bigger than 150 until they got much more complex, right? And even then you're still talking about kind of intertribal. Obviously we see a lot of tribalism still emanating in today's politics and in the way that we think. So I think it's important to think about import for understanding that the House was never going to be a deliberative body, right? But the Senate is, right? And this is kind of what makes the Senate so different, is that it's below this number, right? It's 100 people. So like theoretically, all the people in the Senate can know each other. And I think one of the important things is when you talk to people about uncapping the House, sometimes they'll say, oh, like 435 is like, it's a deliberative body. And if we uncap it to 6,000, like it's not going to be a deliberative body anymore. It's like, well, it's not. It can't be a deliberative body, I don't think. It's already too big to be that. And so what it is instead is captive.
It's
The other social-
factious.
Exactly.
Performative.
Factious. Well, it's actually it does it. There usually is probably like three major factions, which is kind of like three Dunbar numbers, right? Plus and then some.
That's how I
So,
came up with my number before for the when I was doing the regional. Is I used Dunbar's number as a baseline, and then I divided them into three to try to get something close.
So the other thing that I think is important is there's architects have done a bunch of work doing what are called charrettes, CHARETTES, and it comes from like French architecture school. And essentially what this is they get communities together to help understand problems. So a lot of times if they're going to like build a park or something, a public good, they will especially engage in a charrette to understand what the community wants. And what they've found over time, basically refining this process for the last 200 years, 300 years, is you essentially can never have more than 7 people at a table, right? So if you have 7 people having a conversation simultaneously without Robert's Rules of Order, if you have more than that, it stops working because the number of conversations is exponential. And so I find that fascinating because you think about that at college, right? You can get these like really interesting conversations when you get down to like where there's 7 people who regularly speak, but the teacher's not calling on. But if you get above that, basically you have to have the teacher kind of have this system of like, you raise your hand, right? And like you get called on and this sort of thing. You see it fall away when it gets much smaller. And so I think one of the interesting things to think about, and as you think about environmental science or engineering, there's a book called Scale by Geoffrey West, which you should read. Geoffrey with a G. And as you think about us uncapping the House and the scale at which we may do that or may not, think about if there are upper scale things that appear in nature, kind of like these self-filling fractal patterns that are observed in our capillaries and blood vessel systems, but also trees and the rest of it. And one of the things I see is football stadiums, right? And I go back to this. It's like, what is the average, college football, NFL football stadium across America? What's the average size that holds? And that scale is a very interesting number. And I don't know if the data has been done precisely, but it is, I think it probably approximates where the average house size should be. The ratio of representatives to, or represented to representative. And because you can get all those people there. Now, then you have to consider, think about this. On average, only half of people actually vote, right? As you probably know, right? Or are engaged. So does the stadium need to be, does it need to fit everyone or only half of people? Do you have to build it and they will come? Or do you build it for the people who already show up? And what I would say is, you know, the current stadiums say on average they hold 50,000 people. Well, then that is a good, I think, approximation for what the size of the U.S. House district should be, aspirationally. Maybe it takes time to get there, and it is in no small measure just this, like, I mean, what's more American than football?
Nothing.
So, all right,
Baseball? I thought it was baseball.
It is baseball.
I mean, Jeff, you could be the decider here. What is more American?
It's
baseball
America's
or
pastime
football?
is baseball.
Oh, interesting. And so, what do you think?
I'm going football.
They're both quintessentially American.
All right,
Well,
all right.
I'm
Well,
from
I
Texas,
just
so it's football. The answer is football. Okay.
I'm just glad that I finally got the answer of 50,000 from Walter after all of that. I'm so happy. I was like taking notes because I'm like, is there going to be a test later? I don't know what's going on here. I was like, is he actually answering my question or is he going to go somewhere else? But then I finally got it. I'm super happy. So 50,000 to 10,000. Roger, what's your, if you could, just a number would be great. Just a number.
I reject the premise. It should not be a number. The size of the house should be an algorithm.
No. You're not giving me a size of a house. You're not giving me
Jeff asked
you're not
bad
giving me
question.
the question was, what size? Walter asked the question to Enzo. He said, what size community do you want to live in? Okay?
Yeah, okay.
That was the question. What size community do you, I know it's forgotten now because of all that, but like,
Right.
what size community do you want to live in? What's your answer?
I would say probably 50 to 70,000.
Holy moly. I'm going 5,000. Like, if you're saying I want to live in a community, I want in a small community, 5,000 people. And honestly, I'm thinking that might be a little too much for me. But I mean, I think I can handle it. I was writing an article for something about uncapping the house. And I was comparing one of the places I was looking at population. And I was looking at Elkton, Virginia. And they have 3,000 people living there. And I'm like, that sounds pretty good. That's where I want to live.
I would happily live in a tiny town out in the middle of nowhere. I'd be very happy there. But I have a spouse with chronic health conditions. I can't afford to be that far from sophisticated medical treatment, unfortunately. And for all that, she is the one who wants to live out on a homestead in the middle of nowhere where you can see the stars and there's no visible light from any man-made source unless you turn on your... She says all that, which is true, and we both love that. But it's just not practical for us.
Yeah, well, it's not practical for me either, but I'm going to dream.
I
So
moved
this was an
from a small
aspirational
town
question. I
of
misunderstood.
3,000 people. So before living in Laramie, which town 30,000, was about 3,000. And what I would say is 3,000 actually is a little too small to have.
I said 5,000 was my number, but I
Okay.
mean, when I saw Elkton at 3,000 something, I was like, yeah, that sounds pretty good, because
Yeah,
it's
they
a
don't
lot.
have a Chipotle,
I have
though, so.
the community that I grew up in used to be small. Like when I grew up in this area, there was like nobody here. Now it's huge. I live on the outskirts of DC. Okay, so just past Manassas for anybody out there listening. When I grew up, Fairfax and East was just really heavily populated. But when you got to Manassas, it started to thin down. When you got to Gainesville and Haymarket, it was sparse. Okay, Nokesville, there was nobody there. Culpeper, there was nobody there. Now it's built up all the way to Culpeper, right? Like they built through me and around me, and there's just too many people now. But I still love them. I just, I miss the days where you could go
You sound like-
outside. and
You
just
sound like an old timer from Denver.
well,
Hey, man,
I mean,
anytime I hear of a town named Haymarket, I'm going to guess that started out as a rural community. Just spitballing here.
Solid guess.
Yeah.
Solid guess. Okay,
Uh,
wait. I've got another Enzo question since Jeff
Okay,
hasn't
go
come
ahead.
up with one. How many siblings and where are you in the order?
Oh, okay, good question. Yeah, I have one older sister. She lives with me in Minneapolis. She's 2 years older than me.
Oh, cool.
And then I have one younger sister, who is 13. She's a middle schooler. So it's
All
an
right,
interesting dynamic. We're all in school.
so your older sister, have you asked her to sign our declaration yet and told her to support uncapping the house? Where does she live, and does she want to start a chapter?
She lives
Um,
with Enzo.
Yeah, right. I mean, well, actually, she'll really live with me next year, so maybe I can get her on board. But yeah, I mean, I made her I made her copy and paste my email that I was writing to a representative, and I made her send it too. So I got her that far, and I briefed her on everything, of course. But yeah,
Yeah, by the way, I missed this in the opening. That was also I forgot to mention is he was already emailing his representative before he came to us, right? Like because Mr. Beat,
Nice.
right? You were following Mr. Beat's
Right.
lead?
that's right.
Yeah.
That's
And so
right.
like and that's the key if you're out there listening, like email your rep. I have emailed my rep, I have called my rep, I have met with my rep. I keep leaving messages for my rep. I don't necessarily get a good answer, but I'm giving him time. I know he's overworked because there's too few people in the house. Every time they email me back and they're like, "Oh, he hasn't had a chance to look at it," I go, "Oh, that's okay. I know you're overworked. Really should think about uncapping the house." All right, go ahead, Walter. You do another question?
Um,
No. Yes?
I was gonna ask what his favorite class was that he's taking.
Oh.
Oh, thanks. Well, I already gave it the one shout out, but I'm really enjoying my renewable energy and climate change class. There's a lot about the U.S. and world energy infrastructure and electricity, and fossil
Oh,
fuels
geez.
and all the surrounding subjects that you really
Walter's
don't think
new best
about.
friend now.
Yeah.
Oh,
Walter
great.
loves energy.
Yeah, I mean, it's crazy. You don't think about it until you start learning about it, but it's very fascinating.
The U.S. electric grid is endlessly fascinating. It is actually the reason that I came to Uncapping the House because I spent time at Georgetown Law clerking for the U.S. House and Senate committees and talking to people about how to fix our nation's electric grid. And I quickly became aware that they were, I want to say, both like ignorant and willfully weak, or some combination of that, and or in like Hollywood for slightly less attractive people.
Yeah, the
Much less
smart grid's
attractive.
not easy to conceptualize or work towards if you're not an expert. So, I mean, I get
Yeah.
it.
Well, that's cool. I mean, that's awesome. And I would love to chat more with you about that and kind of opportunities. What do you think you want to be when you grow up?
Well,
Dad?
so my degree
job?
is, yeah, I mean, we'll see about the first one. The so bioproducts and biosystems engineering, I would ideally see myself working on either something. So there's a company, I should say, this is like, if I had to pick something, this is like my dream company to work at. There's a company called Poet. They have about 30 locations all over the Midwest and a few outside. But they take, forgive me if I butcher the science on this, they take corn, and they ferment it for ethanol as a biofuel. And then what they do is they take oh geez. Okay, and then the gas that's created from that is CO2, and then that's sold to beverage companies to carbonate water to make sodas. And then what they do with the leftover physical material is it's completely dried out and they turn it into feed for livestock. So if I had to do something that was like the ultimate like sustainable job, or like yeah, I guess that's the word. I'd probably go for something like that. Agriculture is kind of the focus, I guess.
And following on a similar thing, what do you rate your chances of finding work, gainful employment in that field within 2 years of graduating?
Well, my college actually boasts a 95% industry placement rate a year out of college, I believe, or 6 months out of college. So I'm feeling pretty good about it.
Yeah, that's nice historical. I don't know if that's going to be true going forward though. With
Yeah,
AI,
right.
I'm really concerned about entry level jobs given
Oh,
what we're
yeah.
experiencing with AI.
Yeah,
That's why
well,
I'm wondering about your thoughts.
as a college student, I'm definitely thinking about that. Yeah, it's a bit worrying with AI, and especially when you see they get the like the CEOs on for interviews and they're so out of touch. So I don't know.
So
Who knows? The answer that everyone should say about AI is that they don't know because we don't know, but it's definitely worrying. So I agree with you there.
I want you to go back to the 1920s and go to the New York Times machine. Okay, search. I'll find the keywords that you should search and I'll email them to you. But search and read about the advancements in technology that were taking place then and the way people talked about it then, and then compare it to to the AI stuff. And what you'll find is it's pretty much the same. Everybody said the same thing, and this happens over and over and over again in history, where it's like the new technology is going to wipe out jobs. But the thing that ultimately always happens is there's new jobs, right? Every new
Yeah.
technology brings on the
Yeah.
next thing, and in the next thing, like here's what I'm thinking for AI. Okay, AI
Let's
is
hear it.
going to take away a lot of repetitive tasks that we pay people to do right now, but it's going to create opportunities like more. I believe that AI is going to help us solve a lot of our energy problems because you're going to be able to use it. I'm thinking if I could build anything, I'd build an AI robot in a spaceship and I'd send it to planets to get the stuff we need and I'd bring it back here, right? They can explore planets that we can't explore. They can travel places that we can't, and if it can be programmed properly, they can bring us stuff back or whatever. But but you're gonna create new opportunities, right? Like going to space, you know, new energy sources. AI will solve other problems. There'll be new jobs, and
Sounds like there'll be jobs for robots to go to other planets and bring back stuff so robots can make the stuff we need. I don't hear any real jobs in that.
I'm going to bring you a little intermission again by Best Day Brewing, this time with their West Coast IPA, another near beer in a.
well, so with new materials and new resources, you're going to create new industries, and those resources will be turned into things by humans. Because here's the thing with AI, it's really smart, but ultimately it still can't see what a human can see. It still can't feel what a human can feel.
Yeah.
Okay. I know, maybe you believe that it won't be that way all the time, but it consolidates information and it puts it together. But so does a human being, and a human being does it in a more unique way. I think that I don't know. I just believe in people. I believe that we solve problems. I believe technology helps us. I'm not a doomsdayer. Like I'm not worried.
Well,
I'm
yeah, that's
optimistic.
not helpful. I don't think anyone who's a doomer about it is productive to the
Go ahead,
conversation.
Walter.
So I appreciate that.
Go ahead, Walter.
On the AI piece, I am.
This is his
both-
favorite topic, by the way.
I am both
in San
doomer
Diego.
and optimist. If we do not uncap the house, I do think we are going to be living in something akin to 1984 because the amount of power and control in the executive branch is paired with the current technology stack should frighten every American. The only way to fight that is by uncapping the House. You have to have the power to investigate the investigators. And the only way to do that is through your representation in the U.S. House.
Can I follow up one more question just with a
Yeah.
college sort of aperture? So since the 1950s, the proportion of the U.S. population with a bachelor's degree, let's say, has increased crazy. It was like 5, 6, 7%. It was only available to the elites in the 50s. After the 1970s, it grew. And now we're at a point of about 40% of the population has a degree. So my question to you is, given what you see in the world, given the discounting or disregard for expertise, or in some cases hostility, you see schools merging. You see smaller liberal arts colleges went out of business right during the pandemic. Do you think we have peaked? That we have saturated the population with college degrees at this point, and it can only plateau or go down, or do you think there's still an appetite for more college?
Hmm. Yeah. Well, I think that question has a lot to do moving forward with AI for sure. Um, I don't know. Well, I mean, with what Jeff was saying, I think our only choice if we want to keep everyone in the workforce is to have more specialized workers. If you're getting rid of those, mundane jobs, kind of as you described them. So, I mean, I don't know. Maybe for today's world, we've hit kind of a soft cap, but I mean, if we end up getting rid of all the factory line workers and McDonald's cooks, then I guess our
I'll have
only
to go back
option
to
is
school.
more. Yeah,
Yeah.
no, I mean that's what's left, right? So I don't know. We'll see.
Okay.
Well, I want to move on, but I want to just a little nugget here about the labor market. I've been a small business owner for 20 something years, and I can tell you, talking to other small business owners, the number one complaint is almost always there isn't enough good employees. There just isn't. The labor market is always way too. We brag about how unemployment is so low, and it's like I need people. I need people to do jobs, and you're often, especially if you're a small business. That's my biggest complaint about minimum wage is like Amazon and Walmart. They benefit from minimum wage because they bump it up for part-time employer and part-time employees, which hurts small businesses, right? There's no reason, I have a t-shirt shop. I got to pay a kid to come after school for 3 hours. I got to pay him like $15 to fold t-shirts. Like that's just crazy. What does a part-time employee come in after school need to make a quote livable wage? Like they're not living off the wage. It's a part-time job. It hurts small businesses, but I digress.
Jeff,
We need more
I gotta
employees.
I gotta get that red hat. Is that red
Okay,
hat up
well-
for grabs?
All right, so that's where we're gonna transition. So we're just gonna go through some things. One of the things is we're gonna be at Principals First this weekend. Walter, Roger, and myself. If for those of you who don't know, it's a political summit. It happens once a year. The guest and audience, our speakers, are typically center left, although there's some center right. They're they do not support Donald Trump is their platform, and they have principles about not supporting Donald Trump. And I've met some really good people there over the last few years. I enjoy going. I think it's fun, and we're gonna be there asking people why 435. And yes, Walter, this is your hat right here. It's yours. Okay, I got a whole bunch more that I'm gonna bring with me. I've got one right here, although this is not gonna be the hat that I'm gonna wear. It's just the hat I had in my shop today. And Walter, this is your vest too.
Oh my gosh,
Yeah, this is
I'm
yours.
so excited. Your camera's like auto panning.
Yeah,
This is your phone. Your phone like auto pans around.
yeah, it does.
That's what. Is that an iPhone?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to getting my hands on some merch too.
I know. And I got Roger a vest. What else did we get? I ordered some hats. We got some stickers. We got some buttons. You come by. Oh, here's my favorite thing. If you're coming to Principals First, you got to come by our booth and register for our raffle. We're going to be raffling off 3 copies or 3 autographed books by Yuval Levin: The Fractured Republic, A Time to Build, and American Covenant, which you can all see behind me up there, if my camera will get it. So Yuval was nice enough to agree to autograph these books, and we're going to bring them there and raffle them off. So we're really excited about it. And, just as an update, we've got Enzo here tonight. We've got our first grassroots leadership meeting starting tomorrow night. So this is really exciting. We've got in the works right now, we've got about 9 chapters being started all across the United States. Oregon, Enzo's going to start one there in Minnesota. Walter's got one starting in Wyoming. I know Roger's going to get one started in North Carolina. I've got one going in Haymarket or Nokesville. And then I think somewhere in Pennsylvania, Where else? I think I have two people in Pennsylvania, but on opposite sides of the state. One closer to Philadelphia, one closer to Ohio, and then somebody in North Dakota. So, and we're going to have a great meeting tomorrow night, just to kind of go over structure. I got an email while I was on the show. The guy in Oregon, Greg, thank you very much, Greg. He secured his location and has his date already. So, like, we're moving along. We're really excited about it. And then also some pretty big news is we've got a No Cap Fund video that's premiering tomorrow at 8 a.m. So it'll be coming on YouTube. And for those of you who were late to the show, it's produced by our newest board member, Mr. Matt Beat, or otherwise known as Mr. Beat. So Enzo, you'll have to check that out. I know that you came to us through Mr. Beat. Tell me a little bit about that real quick before I get back to Walter and Roger and the principals first. Where did you find Mr. Beat? How long have you been following him, or is this something new?
Oh, he's great. He's I don't know, he's just got a pretty big history YouTube channel. So I feel like I've definitely been shown his videos by a couple of my social studies teachers just throughout. I mean, he's been making them forever. So throughout like middle and high school. But yeah, no, he just recently I just started kind of watching his channel a lot. He kind of formats his history videos in a really digestible way. And I just went on the No Cap Fund YouTube today and saw that premiere, and I'm excited. I think it'll be great. I don't know what to expect, but I know it'll be good.
Yeah, so if you don't like it, it's my fault because I did help a little bit with the video. Because don't blame Mr. Beat, but I was really happy with it. I thought it was great. I think I basically gave a script of what I wanted to do, and I gave it to Mr. Beat, and I said, hey, here's the script, but feel free to like change the words to match, your personality, whatever. And I think what he did was fantastic. He's a very clever man, and I'm really excited to have him on our team.
Yeah. Enzo, do you know, have you produced anything on YouTube or done anything on the back end of YouTube land?
No, not really. I mean, maybe some videos when I was like 10, but that's probably it.
That's fair. Well, if any of your friends in Blockland have any YouTube skills and want to help us out, let us know.
Yeah, for sure.
So Walter and Roger, was there anything in the news cycle you wanted to chat about tonight? I know we've talked about a lot about No Cap, but
Yeah.
is there any out
I mean,
there you wanted
Epstein. We got to talk about Epstein, right?
I mean, you can
I
talk
know
about
it's
him.
tough. It's a difficult topic. I mean, I'm interested in Enzo's thoughts. I think hearing the perspective of a 19-year-old, I'd be very interested.
Jeez. Well, it's just like, what do we do? I mean, it's just frankly
much
really
is-
terrifying.
How much
What?
have you paid attention to it? Like, how much do you actually pay attention to the Epstein stuff?
A fair amount. I mean, I read the AP and New York Times articles about it. I don't watch the 3-hour video essays about it or anything like that, and it's at a certain point it's just not healthy or productive to dig deep into that. But yeah, I mean, I've followed it for the past couple of years. I know it goes a lot. The saga goes further back than that, but yeah.
Are you impressed that we got the files?
I am actually. I was really impressed that what was in there ended up being released. I thought the cover up portion of it was going to be done more aggressively. So
But they haven't released them all yet, right? Do we still have more to go?
yeah, I think
There's
so.
no end. You realize there's no end to this web of data.
All right. Yeah, I realize there's no end, but I also think that it's not a difficult conversation at all. Congress passed a fucking law, and the Department of Justice is violating the law. There's nothing difficult about it. The Department of Justice is in violation of a law of the land. It's not
I mean,
difficult at all.
it's a difficult subject, right? The substance of
Yeah.
what has been disclosed is, pretty disturbing stuff.
Oh, absolutely. It's disgusting.
I mean, I wonder, Enzo, if you wouldn't mind giving us your understanding via the AP and the New York Times, if you don't mind. Kind of like, what do we
Sure.
know today as of February 16th, 2026?
What do we know about the Epstein ring?
Yeah, what was
How much time
Um,
do we have left?
Wow, yeah, I
Got
don't.
10
Where do
minutes.
I begin? Okay, well, if I had to tell you like my understanding of it, I guess through the center left media, I would say that our country is heavily influenced, and I think probably blackmailed by a group of very powerful and very disgusting, and that's the part I can't even really wrap my mind around, how a human being can do any of it. But yeah, it's just a really big web of blackmail and influence and money and power and fraud. There's a lot of fraud tied up in it. Um, I don't know. I think it points out a lot of just I think there's things that it's kind of uh, bringing to the discussion that we've been ignoring for a long time. But I don't know. I can't even really wrap my head around it. So, and I'm not the most informed, but
So
yeah.
you know, Roger, you know what it or not Walter, you know what it reminds me of a little bit is season 1 of Altered Carbon. Did you guys ever see season 1 of Altered Carbon?
Never
Enzo,
heard of
do you know what Altered Carbon is?
Never heard of it. No.
All right, so it's a sci-fi Netflix show. Joel McHale, not Joel McHale, Joel McKinney, I can't remember his name. Anyways, he's the lead, and it's this world where like you can't die. You can take your brain and implant it into like a computer chip, and then you can put that into a body, right, into a human body, and you can relive over and over and over again, right? And in the story of Altered Carbon, the bad guy ends up being this very wealthy person who, like, a lot of stuff is legal in this society that isn't legal in ours because of, like, I guess advancement in immorals. And the only thing that isn't illegal is like these very perverse sexual things, right? There's very limited things like that aren't illegal, and I'm not even going to say what they are because they're that disgusting. And this is illegal, and this guy creates like a sky castle or something, and he does this. It's its own little island in the sky, okay? And he does these really disgusting, gross things. That is one of the few things that are illegal on the planet now, and he's doing them up there, and it's this big scandal. He's like the richest, wealthiest person who's lived like the longest time, because if you can think, if you can afford to live over and over again, your wealth continues to accumulate. So like this guy, the amount of wealth that this guy has is just enormous. He's lived over 200 and something years, and he's created this island in the sky where he does these awful things. And all I can think is like, that's kind of what the Epstein thing is to a little bit.
You know what could put a stop to that?
I don't
Enlighten
know,
us.
AI.
An uncapped house. What? Come on,
Come on.
come on.
I thought you were going to do
That
the
was-
sweep to the
Oh.
banner behind you. There,
Please
there you
visit
go.
www.y435.org.
All right.
Yeah, and we saw it last year in France, Giselle Pellicot, what her husband did and all those men did to her. We see this again and again in societies around the world. Who among us imagined that it was not happening here? I certainly didn't. I figured it was going on. And the only way that you're ever going to have a chance of stopping it is to drag people out into the sunlight.
Yeah, I mean, I for me, it really feels like it's not something that the world and the country is just gonna like blow by. I could be wrong, right? World War III or something crazy could happen, but absent something catastrophic, it's hard for me to see this getting past the attention span. It's like there's gonna be books, there's gonna be movies, there's gonna be, right? Like this is a very, very sticky story, right? I think because it's so, it's kind of unbelievable, and there's also just like all of this like mean, the whole pizza thing is just like very bizarre, right? And yeah,
And they have gone to such exceptional lengths to try and stop it that only whets the appetite more. We
Right,
believe
exactly.
there's even more disgusting stuff in there because they're trying so hard to stop it. And we may
Well,
be right.
and this is why I think it makes Uncapping the House like so timely, right? Is because this is the type of thing like this alone, okay, very devastating to public trust. But you put this on top of, what happened with COVID, right? And then I think suddenly, and you see some of the things about COVID coming out in these documents that are really, I think, solidifying some of those beliefs. And suddenly, we really do risk, obviously, losing some of the social cohesion and fabric in America and in the West more generally. And the answer to that is representation, right? We need to be able to voice our frustrations. We need to be heard, and our government needs to change in response to our concerns. This is horrible, right? But we must face it, right? I mean, like that's all there is to it, right? We have to kind of, grit our teeth and move forward. And so, it's astounding, but it's we obviously will be continuing to, I think, as you said, monitor lightly, right? Kind of not too much focus, but it is always there. So, Jeff, back to you. I realize we're almost at the hour.
Roger, was there anything in the news cycle you wanted to chat about tonight before we get out of here? I mean, I hope it's not as optimistic as Walter's Epstein's topic.
The Americans are doing great in the Olympics.
Ooh. Who is the hey, I that's Enzo, do you watch the Olympics?
I was watching them this weekend quite a bit actually.
Have you
Nice.
watched before? Like, did you watch them growing up and stuff?
Oh yeah.
What about you guys? You guys watch the Olympics?
Dude, we have a tradition for the winter. Well, actually, we do it for the summer too, but it's really in the winter. We do cheese fondue opening ceremonies. We sit in the living room at the coffee table with a fondue pot and all the stuff, and we do fondue while we watch the opening ceremonies. It's a thing.
Walter, you watch?
Yes, been watching. I've been competing in skate skiing here in the Wyoming region, and I'm thinking about like actually competing in biathlon because I think it's just a fascinating sport. A lot of like breathwork control in the biathlon. How about you, Jeff? And did you watch the Super Bowl? And if so, go ahead.
So, I do not watch the Olympics. I have not watched the Olympics since I was a young person.
Shame.
I don't have time to sit at the TV. I haven't had time to sit at the TV in a really long time. I do hope at some point in my life when the kids are out of the house that I
So
will
did you watch
get back in
did you
front
watch
of
the
TV.
Super Bowl? Did you watch?
I did watch the Super Bowl.
Oh my
I
gosh!
did watch the
I
Super
got
Bowl.
him. I got him, ladies and gentlemen.
Hey, I mean, hey, I love.
TV.
I do watch TV. I just say it like the Olympics. There's a lot to watch. Okay, and like I can't watch a little of something. Like if I'm gonna watch something, I need to know what's going on. So I need to watch all of it, right, or at least a majority of it. And I know I can't keep up with the Olympics, so I don't even try. But a 2-hour football game, I can make that out.
But
Jeff
these
is a
days,
perfectionist.
it's all packaged into little discrete things. You can watch individual events online as you go. You
Yeah.
don't have to sit through the whole TV broadcast.
Yeah,
It's
Jeff,
so much
you
easier
need,
than it used
you
to
need
be.
to get rid of that perfectionism and watch some Olympics.
Yeah, and mostly all you'll see on the TV broadcast is arena sports. You'll see ice skating, ice dancing, speed skating, and hockey, right? Because those are the easy ones to get camera angles on. All the other stuff. Now they have drones. That's much better. But I used to complain bitterly in the past because I didn't see enough downhill skiing.
Roger, you should look into see whether or not we can sponsor the next Olympics.
The Representation Foundation? Sure.
Yes.
Sure.
Let's put a
Sure.
banner up at the. We'll sponsor the where they sit and wait to see if somebody's going to come down faster. We'll have our banner behind them while they're.
Well, we
sitting
could
there.
do summer. That way, it's a little bit more pleasant spectating experience for us.
Okay,
holders.
whatever.
Enzo,
think
did you
winter's more
watch?
pleasant.
Did you watch the Super Bowl?
Who, me?
No, I told my family I was going to, but I just couldn't bring myself to do it. I usually, but it was just not a very exciting
like the
matchup
teams?
this year. What's that?
You didn't like the teams?
No, and we're all still salty about losing Sam Darnold. So I mean,
Yeah, I would be salty about that too. Watching,
Yeah.
it's like watching your ex-girlfriend go to the prom with the high school boyfriend, man.
exactly,
Like,
exactly. Yeah, no, the jock stole our girl. So
I couldn't believe they let Sam Darnold go. I've been a Sam Darnold fan back when I used to love football and watch it religiously, like too much. It was a problem. And I competed heavily in fantasy football, which, by the way, I was like back-to-back champion. Whatever, it's no
Oh,
big
wow.
deal. I crushed everybody. I had a dynasty league.
Oh
I was
my
just like, yeah, just don't even worry about it. I was that good. Okay, but I love Sam Darnold. I had him on my team as a backup, right? Because I had Joe Burrow and I had Dak Prescott, and it's a 2-quarterback league, so you need a third quarterback. I picked up Sam Darnold, and he was doing well for me. And then like he crushed it in Minnesota last year, and I don't understand how, because Minnesota did this before, where they Case Keenum, right, got him to the NFC Championship game, and then the next year they dumped the guy and they don't make the playoffs, and they
Yep,
did the
that's
same
their
thing
thing.
again this year. They had Sam Darnold, 14 wins, they dumped the guy, he's in the Super Bowl, and they're sitting at home.
Oh my
yeah,
goodness.
we
This is-
love to do that.
This is incredible. Jeff, we have got to get you like a giant whiteboard to put every member of Congress on so you can like pretend it's like a sports team and we're going to play fantasy, uncap the house to build our next faction of the, what is it? The Madison caucus?
Who are we gonna draft into our
Yes,
caucus?
exactly.
Yeah, I like
Yeah.
this. I like
Yeah.
this. All right,
Yes.
all right. Let's do real quick. Just give me one congressperson you want to draft. Okay, Enzo.
Oh.
Do you think about it? I'll come to you last.
Yeah.
Roger, I'm gonna let you go first. Just one congressperson do you want to draft into our caucus?
Well, Sean Caston will be the first name I come up with.
There you go. I
Since
knew
you
Sean
made the-
Caston was coming off the board first. The
You
man
made the
has a
mistake of calling
bill.
me first.
No.
Rand
All right.
Paul.
Rand Paul?
Yep.
You're drafting Rand Paul. All right. He's actually got to convince Rand Paul to support this before he can bring him on his team. So I like it. Enzo, what do you got?
Oh, well, Roger took my pick. That was an easy one for me. I guess I'll pick it. Oh, wow. I don't even
GP.
like many congressmen. They all.
There's
kinda
another
suck.
cat named Blumenauer who's also put forth a bill in previous Congresses.
All right. Well, I'm
Loosen
gonna steal
Cam
your knowledge
Perez.
and take that. That can be my pick
Yes.
then.
All right. I'm taking is it MPG?
MGP.
MGP. Maria
MGP.
Gluesenkamp Perez.
Perez.
I'm taking Maria Gluesenkamp Perez. Not only does she, I think, support this because she's on the electoral commit, it's part of her package, or that she's with Jared Golden, but I just think she's a really good politician, and I think she could do a lot of good in the world if she was given a little bit more support. I think she probably has leadership skills that are underutilized in the current Congress, and if yeah, I know you laugh.
There's zero leadership skills being exercised in the current Congress.
Well, and she had that moment of extreme integrity a while back. She called out a member of her own party, the Democrat Party, for doing shenanigans around the filing date with the chief of staff of the retiring member, that sort of thing. So she
Using the
demonstrated
rules to rig the game.
integrity. There you go.
Okay, I've got another one, and she's not actually a current member of Congress because she retired. And
Oh,
it's
you're
not
gonna bring her back? You drafted?
MGP, MTG.
Oh my gosh!
I feel
you're
like
drafting
wait, she's look,
MTG.
right, because she went out on a limb on this whole Epstein thing, and she really has, I think, a lot of MAGA's ears. And if you got her, I mean, that's a big faction.
So let me just when I play fantasy football, I stopped playing in leagues with noobs, because every time you play in a league with a noob, somebody takes a kicker in the first round or the second round, and you're like, "What are you doing?" And they're like, "No, it's Adam Vinatieri," and I'm like, "He's a kicker. Wait till the last pick." What are you doing? She's like a kicker. She's not even in the league. She's burnt every bridge she has. Like I don't get it. I doubt.
Not the people.
I don't know.
You know, I
right.
always say, I always
that
tell
was quite a
people,
grunt. That was incredible.
I tell people I'll make community with anybody who supports uncapping the house. And drafting MTG would test my resolve to deliver on my promise to make community with anybody who will support this. That would test my resolve.
My thing is Walter's taken two like. So I have this friend. His name was Sanaki. He played all these
Underdogs.
leagues with us, and
Is-
he would always draft people, and we would think that he was crazy, but he would win all the time. So like he just knew stuff that other people do. Maybe I don't know. I'm hoping that Walter is like that. Like I'm just thinking like Rand Paul. I see where you're coming with Rand Paul, but he's not coming off the board early for me because I got to do a lot of work to get him on board. Right? I'm gonna
Well,
if
see,
I'm
it's
taking
easier
people
for me
up.
because I know like Ron Paul is from my hometown. I think I have a reasonable shot.
Well, that's fair. That's fair. Oh, we lost his video. Where'd he go, Walter?
No?
Oh, there he
He
is.
went to get more cereal.
All right.
No, you're on mute now, Walter. Sorry.
See, clicking mouse.
All right. Well, it's been a good show, guys. I've had a lot of fun. Enzo, did you enjoy your time on the representation station?
Absolutely, it was a blast.
I'm gonna see you tomorrow night, by the way, for our grassroots meeting,
What time is that, Jeff?
8:00.
8 o'clock. And if there are other volunteers out there,
Well, 8:00 my
If they-
time.
8 o'clock Eastern. That's right. 6 o'clock my time, Mountain. If they wanted to get in touch with Jeff, they should email him to get added to this meeting. So Jeff at y435.org.
Yeah. If you haven't signed up to volunteer, that's where you want to start first. Is sign up to volunteer, and then I'll get an email and I'll email you back and get you the information. Yeah, we're gonna have, I don't know, 5 or 6 people on the call tomorrow. I'm really excited for it. Getting everything started. So yeah. Final words before we get out of here. Say goodnight. Enzo, do you want to go first? Do you want to go last?
I can go first.
right.
Well, I just want to thank you all for, first running this whole movement, and two for having me on. I'm excited to work with you guys. I think this is a great initiative, and I'm glad I found it. And I think I have a lot of hope that this can soon be a consensus idea. So, yeah.
Roger, you want to go next?
Do you guys remember or have any experience with glow-in-the-dark watch hands from way back in the day? First time you could, right? They did that by painting the numbers and the hands on the thing with radioactive paint, right? So here's my kicker for this week. The last time the House of Representatives was expanded, we had not yet begun, let alone ceased, painting the watch dials with radioactive paint that I would lay in bed and watch incessantly falling asleep.
That's great. I love
The world has
I love
changed so
Roger's
much.
pieces. You know, I'm really excited, Enzo, that you're here. I think that at the end of the day, the generations that came before us did a lot for us, but they also left us quite a lot of work. And I think that it is going to take the younger generation to really pick up and fight this fight. And so I'm just excited to see you here, and looking forward to having you join the team and see you succeed over the next handful of years. You know, it's the beginning of a journey. It's a marathon, not a sprint. This life, and you know, don't be afraid to pause when you need to. You can walk, you know, if you lose your footing. So, thank you again, and yeah, look forward to seeing you next time.
Yeah, thank you for being on the show, and I just want to give a shout out to Joey and James as well, our early and Kaylee,
Yeah.
our early no cap interns. They really helped us last year, kind of get our footing straight, and they've helped us get to this point. So just, you know, a big thank you to you guys for being out there. We're gonna have to get them on the show. I think we should do this more often. We should get the volunteers on the show a little bit more often. I'll talk about that tomorrow night at the show or at the meeting. But if you're out there, remember we're gonna be at Principals First this weekend. asking why 435, come by our booth, pick up a sticker, a button. Oh, I'm gonna have free T-shirts. I'm gonna be giving away free T-shirts, so come by. I'll have some hats there as well. We'll be dressed up like fools to attract attention to ourselves, and we'll have cameras and stuff. And hopefully, sooner than later, you'll be hearing about Uncapping the House and Y435 on your local news, as opposed to just having to sift X for it.
Do we have
and
a
then
T-shirt cannon?
I don't have a T-shirt cannon.
Whoa, aggressive. I think it's a small room, Roger.
Yeah, we can shoot it all the way across the room. I'm not gonna shoot
Go-
it.
Roger's trying to
Go-
get us kicked.
Go out on the mall, on the National Mall, and see if we can get it from Lincoln to
There you
the
go.
Washington Monument.
Spread the word far and wide.
Seems suboptimal.
Roger's trying to
Well,
get us
Dan.
kicked out of Principles First.
I just want a cannon of any kind.
That's cool. And then remember, if you're listening, you're like, hey, this is a good idea. I want to do something about it. You can be like Enzo too. You can go to our website, www.y435.org. You can sign up to volunteer. You can get our email list, and you can give us a hand. You can email your representative if you're not sure what to say. We have a form letter on our website that you can copy and paste and put into your email. And of course, you can sign our declaration. Let your representative and all the representatives know that the American people deserve representation in their government once again. And, if you happen to have a little extra money lying around, you can make a donation, because it's going to take a lot of money to get this heard, because the people need a voice. So thank you again. Peace, love, and representation.
And go buy a hat on the website.